Hey guys, welcome to the Forge Gaming. This is Troy, aka Olamande, and I'm here with Judah. How's it going, man?
How's it going, man? We've got a lot to talk about.
Heck yeah, man. A whole lot's been going down lately.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, we normally have two or three topics to talk about. Well, today's just going to be one. And if you haven't guessed by the title or the thumbnail by now, and if you're living under a rock, you'll know that it is some pretty big Call of Duty noise being thrown around right now. So, you know, we actually started discussing this early on whenever the first announcement came out, and just more and more news kept on pouring in. So, got a bullet point list here, some things we want to hit on. So, Troy, you want to hit us off here?
yeah. Well, just to kick things off, man. Just a lot of things have been leaked over the past week and a half, and there is recently, I guess, Activision or Infinity Ward decided to go ahead and just put a video up and give us a little
You
sneak
know,
peek of
it
what's to
it
come.
appeared to be almost unintentional at first, but usually that means that it's intentional, honestly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was intentional. It
Yeah.
yeah, so video popped up, uh, and this bald guy who I'm gonna call him Alex Murphy because he looks just like RoboCop without the mask. If you guys ever
Right.
watch the original RoboCop movie, not the new one, not the one that's rated PG-13, but the one that's rated R, the good one, the one that's cheesy with all the cussing. That one. He looks like that Alex
Right.
Murphy. That guy. But
hmm This is
he,
you're referring to the videos on Snapchat,
yeah,
correct?
it's on Snapchat. It's on Call of Duty's YouTube channel also. It's on their Facebook page. It's popping up everywhere. It's semi on Nuketown, which is we'll also discuss that later. But
Right, right. It started off as just kind of like a little secret, and now it's wide out in the open.
yeah,
And come Tuesday, we're gonna pretty much have, hopefully most of our questions answered. So,
yeah. But this guy he's giving his great awesome speech. He says that he is the enemy. He is your enemy. We're not sure who he's talking to while he's giving his speech. We're not sure if this speech is aimed at us or if it is aimed at someone else. We're not quite sure, but they are called the Settlement Defense Front, and that's
right.
about as much as we know about them.
And Troy, you said earlier that you think he may actually be the good guy in this story.
I think
You
he may be
wanna?
the good guy. I mean, I look at the name of what they're called, Settlement Defense Front, and he
hmm
seems like he's very passionate about. It seems like something was done wrong to him first. That's what it seems
Right.
like. And so I'm trying to look at this from a fresh perspective because we're so used to seeing the bad guy pop up first, especially with these kind of videos. We know this. We had the same kind of video with was it Black Ops 2 with the
hmm
Cordis Dia or whatever it was thing,
Yeah, yeah.
and there was a
I know
little
who you're talking about.
video and all that kind of stuff, and it just that guy just happened to be the villain. This
Mhm.
isn't necessarily this. I don't think this is necessarily the same thing. I think they may be throwing
Yeah.
us in for a loop. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with I think it's the other way around. I mean, I think that the villains in these games are sort of becoming the spotlight characters for them. I mean, look at whenever they started teasing Advanced Warfare, who was in all the trailers? Kevin Spacey,
Yeah,
meaning, who was the villain, who played one of the biggest parts in the story, obviously. And uh so I mean, claiming I am your enemy, you know, I do I understand thinking outside of the box, but just my first thought is, okay, this is the guy who is convinced that he's doing the right thing, but is kind of a dictator in a way, which a lot of the Newtown things actually kind of suggest as well. There's a poster on the wall that kind of says that. So that's my
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah, well, I just think it's getting a little, and just it may just be me. I think it's getting a little old having the villain always be the main character. It was like that
Mm.
with the latest Call of Duty with Black Ops 3 with the story. I don't know the actor's name. I'm just gonna call him Stabler because I know he's on Law and Order SVU and he plays Detective Stabler on Law and Order. But he's
Right.
basically the main character for the game, but he ends up being the villain, and then he ends up not being the villain. It's weird. Black Ops 3's
Right, right.
campaign was super weird, but I think they're gonna throw us in for a loop. I think Infinity Ward has something great planned for a campaign, and I think they're gonna give us something great. And I think they're gonna give us they're gonna give us something different. You know that for sure.
Yeah, well, that's definitely looking to be the way.
But next up,
Uh,
we have on our bullet point, we have Nuketown Easter eggs, and so
right. And I've mentioned a little bit about this already. And if you haven't seen anything covering it already, go ahead and hop on to Nuketown and check out all the little tidbits of information. And it's far from being an Easter egg at this point. I mean, the audio from the Snapchat videos and the YouTube duplicate is aired through the entire map every couple of minutes.
yeah,
Um, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. There's also if you look in the sky, and we'll try and post this up for you guys. But if you look into the sky where the road is going up, there's a symbol. It looks almost like a silhouette. It's kind of invisible. You can kind of see it. It's kind of matching the color of the sky, but there's a symbol in the sky, and so
Right.
if 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 Alex Murphy is the bad guy, and that symbol that keeps popping up over his face on the video is the symbol for the bad guys, then maybe that symbol in the sky may be the good guys, or vice versa. If you're thinking along the lines of what I'm thinking, but
Yeah, well, here's my thing is if you look at the symbol that's on the big widescreen, wall running platform, if you know what I'm talking about,
yeah,
and it shows the picture of Alex Murphy, then you see the symbol that you also saw in the Snapchat videos and all that stuff. But the symbol that's up in the sky, you don't see anywhere else as far as I'm aware. So, yeah, it could be, two opposing factions or something. Um, it's something that, we really don't know anything about at this point, but it's definitely wasn't there before, so it's got to mean something.
yeah, but yeah, I think that's it. There's
That
another
well,
poster
yeah, good.
on yeah, there's another
I can't remember
poster.
exactly what it said.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it said either, but
It sounded like a tyranny, dictator kind of thing, something something all citizens must do something something
yeah,
something like that. I can't remember the words exactly, but it it's it kind of sounds like, this guy, whoever the enemy is pretty much in charge of things, and that's what it sounds like that's implying.
yeah. And dude, I just have to say kudos to did I just say kudos again? Why do I keep saying
You
that?
did. I
Holy
don't know. It's
crap,
your word
man.
now.
What the heck? Props. Props to Activision
Kudos.
for connecting these games together, man. Advertising your next game through a current game that's already happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal, man. That's a super big deal. And the thing is that Black Ops 3 is popular. Black Ops 3 is the best Call of Duty on the next gen consoles, and it's um we'll see if Infinity Warfare can top Black Ops 3. I believe that Black Ops 3 will be a game that's going to be, I feel like Black Ops 3 is our new Black Ops 2 for the next gen
Right.
consoles. Like this is going to be the game that's played for a while, and just advertising the next Call of Duty game on the most popular map is, and
Right.
that's just incredible. That's just great marketing.
Yeah. Right. And you always look at Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, and Treyarch is they're kind of in competition with each other, but you got to understand that they're all part of Activision, so they're all going to be, in some form, kind of trying to boost the other game up as it starts to make its way in.
Yeah,
So it's
it's
nice to see
it's
that.
it sounds like NASCAR. How they have teams, but they're still trying to beat each other.
Right.
But
Yeah.
all right. Next up, we have we kind of discussed this a little bit, but Alex Murphy, the bald guy, friend or foe? Um, yeah, I,
Yeah.
what do you think, man? You go first.
Well, we don't know anything about him. I mean, aside from, the way he speaks, it sounds like what he was saying was an announcement, to a large group of people. Um, you know what? It's kind of odd, but it keeps on popping into my head, and I don't know how deep of the into the division story that you got into, but the LMB, the Last Man Battalion, is actually a military group that is an enemy in the game, but they basically, you know, for the most part, they appear to do things good, but they do it in such a controlled way with such high penalties and punishment for anything that they don't obey. And that's sort of what it reminds me of. And there's even a head honcho of the group that I can't remember the name of, but he gave a speech to everybody saying, if you're with us, then you will stand strong. But if you just decide to stand against us, then may God have mercy on your soul. And that's what kind of keeps popping into my head, kind of comparatively. But what do you think, Troy?
Oh no, I almost get this resistance vibe from this guy.
Hmm.
Like I feel like he, in a sense, he's being oppressed and he's trying to fight back. I don't feel like
Okay.
from the speech and from the way he speaks and his deliverance, I feel almost as if he's on the defensive of this and something has happened to him and his people and they're getting ready to retaliate. So I don't know. I'm
Hmm.
still on the fence. I'm still on the fence about it.
I think you're being convinced by the enemy to become one of them, kind of like
And
he's
you know
gonna
what?
do to everybody else in the game.
Maybe I'm the bad guy. Maybe I'm the bad guy. Just prepare
Maybe
yourself
so.
because me and Alex Murphy are gonna come through. Me and RoboCop are gonna come through, and we're gonna mow through all your boys.
Anti-RoboCop.
Anti.
Oh, that sounds wrong. Oh,
Oh man. But,
oh man.
next up on our bullet points, we have the cover art. The cover art.
Yeah, which is actually gonna, lead a little bit into what we talk about in a little bit, as far as what comes with the game that's advertised on there. But again, this cover art screams future. You know.
Yeah.
Now in Ghost, there was some things in space. There were two different missions where you're actually at a space station, using guns fighting in a shootout, and it it's possible that that's what they're implying with the guy holding a space mask, but with all the talks of this game being primarily in space, that kind of fuels that fire a little bit. So.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I'm really looking at, I'm looking at his guns and his armor that he's wearing, the equipment that he's wearing. It doesn't seem big and bulky. I know it's the future, so space wear may be a little more slimmer, but if you look at space wear
Yeah.
now, like you're wearing, even in Ghosts, you're wearing some huge stuff, if you're going
Right.
into space. But that gun looks like just a regular gun, man. It doesn't look like it fires lasers or anything like that. It looks just like a regular plain old, even almost like a just a regular machine gun, an assault
Yeah.
rifle or a submachine gun or something like that.
Right.
And that looks like, I can't tell in his right pocket on the holster on his right if that's a pistol or is it a magazine. I can't really tell. It looks like it may be a pistol. But
Well, that kind of leads me into what you mentioned earlier as to you think this game is going to be boots on the ground still. I'm not convinced. I think they're sticking with the whole future model, and but you think it's going to be boots on the ground.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think there's gonna be gravity. I think we'll be in space, but I think the maps will be on different planets that have gravity. I think there may be one map or two where the gravity may be a little different. You never know.
You
But
think? You think they would change the entire gameplay style depending on what map you're playing?
probably. I mean, they did the dynamic maps thing last time. Remember with what
Yeah.
Infinity War did with Ghost, where the maps would change and things like that. Who's to say that they don't, switch the maps up a little bit depending on which map you're playing, and it changes the gravity a little bit. But I think for the most part, I think we'll be playing in facilities, and I'm just gunning it. I'm just making stuff up right now. I have no
Yeah.
information on how it's gonna be,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Don't
but
quote us on this.
yeah, I think they'll be on different planets, and we won't be able to breathe the air, the atmosphere, and so we'll have to build facilities like the plans for Mars. You know, they talk about us
Right.
building cities on Mars eventually, but they'll be domed, almost like I don't know if you guys ever seen Total Recall, the original with Arnold Schwarzenegger, not
Right.
not the new one, not the one that sucked, but the, the one with
You
the
really
one
hate
with.
new movies.
I know I hate new movies. Stop remaking the great movies. But in
Except for
total,
Godzilla. Thank you
except
for that.
yeah, thank you for the new Godzilla. But if you look at the old Total Recall, they actually built everything in a big dome, and it was just like you're on Earth. I mean, there weren't any trees or anything like that, but it was breathable. The gravity was the same as Earth is, and you couldn't go outside. If you went outside, you die. You know, and the gravity, I
Is
believe that.
this movie? This is a
Oh,
little bit off topic, but
oh, go ahead.
is this I'm not getting this movie mixed up with that movie with Bruce Willis, am I?
Oh, you
Where
think
they're
you thinking of the
also
the Fifth Elephant?
that's exactly what I'm thinking of. Okay,
Yeah,
that's two different
yeah,
movies. Sorry.
two different movies.
Anyways, carry on.
But I feel like it's gonna have that feel. Like we'll go to different planets and we'll fight in facilities on those planets. And so yeah, I think it's gonna be like that. I think it'll be boots on ground. And there may
Hmm.
be
Okay.
some dynamic maps to where it'll change up on us. We'll see.
Right. Um. Yeah, I have to disagree just because if they're willing to go as far out as doing space stuff, then I feel like they're gonna, depending on what the timeline of this all is, I feel like they're going to, I don't know, I think they're gonna go all out with the future. I mean, especially if the rumors are true that it's gonna make Black Ops 3 look like the Stone Age, which still feel like is a bit of a throw from the truth, but. I was actually listening to it wasn't a podcast, but it was a discussion video that Drifter did with some of his friends that was discussing all this, and they were talking about, one of the big reasons why developers like doing futuristic games as opposed to modern games is because there's no limits. Like how it like you don't have to be tied down to what the technology was at that time,
Yeah.
and that's one of the problems that World at War had after Modern Warfare came out is they had all this futuristic stuff, and then World at War was about World War II, and they're like, well, how the heck do we add a red dot sight to an M1 Garand, or not M1 Garand, but yeah, something
Yeah.
along those lines. It's like you're very limited, and I feel like that's why future is just unfortunately the pattern that things are in right now, and not in Call of Duty, but in almost everything.
Yeah. Well, and man, and one thing I was really hoping for was talking about futuristic stuff and going back to the old style of games. Remember in Black Ops 2, if you ever played the Black Ops 2 campaign, um, you would go back and forward in time.
Right, right. I
In the
like that.
campaign, you would go back during like Vietnam time and all that kind of stuff, and then you would go back to the future. Um, Man, I was really hoping when Black Ops 2 was coming out and they said they were going to do that, I was hoping we were going to get some old school maps mixed with some new school stuff, future mixed with past, have old maps where you can only use those guns from that time, on that map,
Right.
but I mean, I'm still waiting for Call of Duty to do something like that. I'm still waiting for that Call of Duty. But this will not be it. I'm convinced that this will not be
Mm,
it.
no,
I,
not looking
I
like
wish
it.
it was. But
Yeah.
yeah. Next topic, man. We got oh, great news, everybody. Everybody clap your hands. Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, the first Modern Warfare remastered with campaign and 10 maps. Um, this is not confirmed. This has been leaked, but the source
I
seems
don't
to be
doubt it
legit.
in one bit.
Yeah,
I
the source seems to
don't
be
doubt it
legit.
at all.
Uh, but yeah, we got the original Modern Warfare back. What do you guys?
Yeah,
What do you think?
I think that's awesome. It's one of the critically acclaimed, one of the best Call of Duties to ever come out. And I'll be fair in saying that as everybody does point out that it was the best Call of Duty, ever to come out, it still had its fair issues, guys. It was not a perfect Call of Duty game, and I feel like that'll kind of come to light once it does come back. But nonetheless, it was a great game, and I can't wait to play it. And I will say, this is another reason why I feel like this next game will not be boots on the ground. Because I feel like they heard the outcry of everybody saying that we don't want a futuristic game, but they were already in the middle of development for a futuristic game. So this was their way of saying, okay, this is how we'll kind of, give everybody a little bit of what they want.
Hmm. All right. There's one thing I'm gonna have to disagree with you on, and that is Call of Duty 4 being the best Call of Duty ever made.
Oh no, you no, well, okay. I said critically acclaimed. I don't know if
Okay.
it's my favorite, but I do feel like it was the most revolutionary.
Okay. Yeah, I would have to say, if I had to pick my Call of Duty to come back from Infinity Ward, it would definitely be Modern Warfare 2, even though it is a continuation of Modern Warfare 1, and we may see Modern Warfare 2 remastered with the next Infinity Ward game that comes out in 3 years.
That would not be a cycle that I would be sad to see at all. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
but yeah, yeah, I'm excited about them bringing it back. Um, I think yeah, I think this was probably one of the games that wasn't going to come to backwards compatibility for the Xbox One, and
Right.
I didn't see it coming back in any way for the PS4. Um, I don't know if
Right.
PlayStation Now even has that option available. I'm not sure, but
I would doubt it.
but yeah, I think it's great. Even though everybody that's on PC can totally just go back and play it. Props to the PC
Yeah,
players.
well,
You guys play all the
yeah,
games
they,
whenever you
they've
want. They're timeless.
they've been keeping that
Yeah.
Modern Warfare community alive for sure. Um, but yeah, also the campaign's coming back. I don't think that'll be quite as popular. Not that it wasn't a bad campaign or anything. It just wasn't the highlight of the game. But
Yeah, is
hey, if they want to remaster the whole thing, I'll be playing through it.
yeah, it was a solo campaign. I'm I wonder if they will make it a co-op campaign.
Hmm.
If that'll be
I think that
happening.
has a lot to do with the fact. I think that has a lot to do with whether or not Infinite Warfare in itself will have a co-op. Which
Yeah.
after Black Ops 3 doing it, I would certainly hope.
Yeah.
But
Well,
no.
Treyarch has been the only Call of Duty to do a co-op campaign, so we'll see.
Hmm,
I hope that they do, because co-op campaign,
I
it's so
agree.
necessary. It is so necessary. You gotta have. It's just so great to run through a campaign with friends.
Right.
Halo, Gears of War. Go through it with friends. Enjoy the journey together. And campaigns get played more when they're co-op. This is a fact.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why, and you looked at one of our old podcasts whenever we were talking about Titanfall 2 and the campaigns and stuff like that. And they were talking about how campaigns weren't played that often, and these are the same guys that made Modern Warfare 2, and they decided not to put a campaign in their game. And the fact is that when you make your campaign co-op, it gets played more,
Right.
it's more player friendly. So hopefully that's
Definitely.
hopefully we'll get that. But 10 maps, 10 maps. We're not getting all the maps. I'm not sure how many maps there are, but I know
Well,
for a
there's
fact that there are
much
more
more
than
than
10.
10,
Yeah,
but
there are more than 10
I
maps.
don't think anybody is complaining
Yeah.
about any of that. You know,
Um,
we're basically getting a free game with the game, as a pre-order bonus. If that's true, then that is got to be the best pre-order bonus I've ever seen.
yeah. And yeah. Also, I'm wondering if this will be a whole separate game or if it will actually be on the disc or something downloadable. If it will be separate from Infinite Warfare, or if it'll all be together and you'll be able to just go down, scroll down while you're in the menus of Infinite Warfare and play Modern Warfare.
That would be ideal. Yeah, I mean, I don't see them giving us two discs. If anything, they might make the Modern Warfare part downloadable,
Yeah, like a
just
downloadable code.
digitally. Yeah,
It,
that would be my guess, but
yeah. Well, there you have
find
it,
out.
guys.
But
Modern Warfare back remastered. Um, there's been some good remastered games coming out, and we'll be looking forward to this one. And Jude, I know you're not looking forward to this, man, but this just may well be the end of the Call of Duty Ghost storyline.
I know.
Is this the
Unless they
end?
find some crazy way to tie this whole thing together, it looks like that's, you know, might just be going away, which is crazy. I mean, when was the last time you even saw a movie do that? Like same people, it's like I don't know, if you had, a Lord of the Rings movie come out and then they had all these characters and then the Hobbit movie came out and they just said, "Oh yeah, all that stuff just never happened." It's
Yeah,
like you can't just start off a story, leave it on a cliffhanger, which I know a lot of people maybe not even cared about, but you know, how are you gonna start a story, leave it on a cliffhanger, and just leave it at that? Just never conclude, never finish. Even for a non-successful story, that seems a little unprofessional to me. But I mean, even if they did manage to just kind of swap the story over to space or something, that I can't, I won't spoil the way the campaign ended, but they left a whole lot of questions unanswered, and it didn't imply anything about what the next game is looking like. So,
yeah,
well,
and
I'm a little bit hurt.
well, yeah, and the actually Treyarch kind of did that with Black Ops. From the ending of Black Ops 2, with the Masons, and moving on to Black Ops 3, and just totally jumping, what, 20 more years into the future, probably a little further than that, and
Well,
just
they kind
totally,
of tied that story together
yeah, they
though.
kind of tied
I
it
mean, they
together.
had a
There was still not, there still wasn't that much closure, um, because I mean the end of Black Ops 2 kind of had that Inception ending where they gave you three different endings. Spoiler alert to those who have not played Black Ops 2. Stop listening right now. Skip ahead. But uh, uh, Mason dies and he comes back. And then there's an ending where he comes back, and then there's an ending where he doesn't come back, where you're at his grave. And
well,
then there,
I think they actually at one point did say that the good ending is supposed to be the correct ending, because I know that was a topic of discussion for a while after
yeah,
that, but that was
uh,
still a much more satisfying ending than whatever Call of Duty Ghosts was. I mean, that was in no way the end of a story. But here's the thing for me is that you gotta think that these games begin production. I think I think I read somewhere that it's halfway through the DLC period, they're already working on the next game.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then they were, working on this stuff long before they even knew whether or not it was going to be successful or not. So I don't think they're changing it up because, people didn't like Ghost because, that would mean backtracking every bit of progress that they already made in order to, you know, just, make it different. But uh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
What do you think, man?
I don't know. I think maybe we might, and this may be wishful thinking for me. I think we may get something along the lines. I think they will give us some closure for Ghost. I think they will give us some kind of closure for Ghost and how that story ended up turning out. Whether it ends up being a comic book, graphic novel, maybe it's a digital comic or something like that. We may get some kind of digital story. Um, the most wishful thinking would be like a Halo Forward Unto Dawn kind of thing, where they kind of where they kind of finish it off like that, and
Right.
but or I think more than anything, we'll probably just get some really huge dramatic cutscene in the beginning of
Yeah, I
Infinite
think it'll be a
Warfare.
flashback sort of thing.
Yeah, and
And
yeah, go
like
ahead.
I'll try to explain this without spoiling anything, but what if the brother that was about to go after the other brother, they keep the same characters, but through some odd, scenario, it takes them into space. And again, that doesn't fit the timeline at all, but
Yeah,
that's my only thing I can really hope
yeah.
for at this point. But
Unless we're talking time travel. If we're talking
yeah,
time
but I
travel, if
mean,
they just end up shipping everybody into the future.
yeah, but I mean, here's the thing: is that Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare, they both had, you know, the past three Call of Duty games have all technically been futuristic, even Ghosts, but Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare were very technologically advanced futures, whereas Ghost was the future, but it was like, post-apocalyptic, post-nuclear future. It's very dark. A lot of things were in ruin. So it doesn't seem like something where time travel would just all of a sudden be introduced. It's that seems more along the lines of an Advanced Warfare or Black Ops sort of thing, but
Yeah,
you never know.
you never know. We'll have to see. We'll wait and see. This Tuesday we'll get our sneak peek. It
Yeah.
Last but not least, what are we gonna have for our co-op campaign? Is it gonna be extinction? Are we going back to the aliens? Will we see zombies, or will we get something new? What do you
If
think,
we
Judah?
get zombies, I'm gonna throw a chair. I'm sick of people copping out and thinking they can just do zombies like Advanced Warfare. Get your own thing. Uh, I think similar to what we discussed earlier, the possibility of extinction coming back is even higher now because it's already in space, and you
Yeah,
actually went to space in extinction once already, or actually twice already. So, I don't see that going anywhere. It's not like they would have to alter any of the story or anything. Um, but yeah, I would highly doubt us seeing anything completely new. I know Extinction wasn't as, widely popular as Zombies is by any stretch, but I do think it was enjoyed by most people that played it. And so, you know, we'll see,
yeah,
I that it doesn't make any sense for them to go with anything else than that, I don't think.
yeah. And didn't Neversoft develop extinction?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
there's a lot of extra companies kind of helping out. Um, You know, Raven was one of them. I don't know exactly what they worked on, but we had never really seen them in a Call of Duty game before. So a lot of
yeah,
smaller people came together, but I do think Neversoft was primarily in charge of the extinction part of it. So, and
yeah,
they did a good job. I
yeah.
mean,
And I
we
think,
play the heck out of that stuff.
oh yeah, and I think they were kind of fused in the Infinity Ward. So I think they're all just together now. I think they disbanded Neversoft. Like it Neversoft like doesn't even exist anymore. But it's all
Hmm.
just Infinity Ward now. But yeah, I
Yeah,
like
they
this.
sure had nothing to do with the last Tony Hawk game.
Oh God. Yeah, hope those go away. No more Tony Hawk games. Give us Activision
Yeah.
go away with the Tony Hawk games. Keep up your Call
Uh,
of Duties and your Destinies and your Skylanders or whatever. What the heck?
yeah.
But,
So what do you think we're going to be getting?
I think we're gonna get Extinction. I think yeah, it's going to space. I think it's definitely gonna be Extinction. And I think we're gonna get new aliens, um,
Hmm.
new map styles. I think here's one thing I've been questioning, man, is will with them pulling the campaign totally into space, will we maybe see some kind of integration of Extinction and the campaign?
That's a good question. Um,
Yeah.
it kind of depends on how far-fetched this campaign's going to be. I mean, that's what a lot of people are already kind of expecting is, space guns, lasers, aliens, flying around with jetpacks and all that stuff. And you know, I,
Yeah. Sounds
that's
like
almost
Destiny.
every game we've got right now. We've got all we've got right now are futuristic shooters. That's why I want a modern shooter so bad, which is why I'm happy about Modern Warfare. But I mean, we got Halo, we got Destiny, we got Titanfall, we got Black Ops 3. I mean, everything is just so future, jumping around, fast paced. We're kind of missing our roots a little bit here.
Yeah.
Um, but there's no telling what they've got planned at this point. But I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah. Hoping, man. Dude, one thing I would like to see, and I know we're probably gonna be wrapping up here pretty soon. Is I would like to see, I would definitely like to see more past tense games, and maybe it's something we can talk about in our next podcast because Battlefield 5, there seems to be some things that have been leaked saying that Battlefield 5 will be uh a past.
World War I.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, we'll see about that and see how that is because I've never really been a Battlefield player. I like their campaigns. I was never really big on the multiplayer. And I would really love for it to work for me. And World War One Battlefield game will probably get me to pick up the sticks and play that game. That'll
Right.
probably get me to pick up the
No,
sticks and play that
I
game.
would definitely want to look at that.
It, yeah, that's all we have right now to discuss for Infinite Warfare. That's it. You got anything
Yep.
else, Judah?
Uh, you know, just waiting for Tuesday, man. Right now all we have are questions. And so the sooner we get the answers, sooner I can stop being nervous.
I know, I know. Uh,
It's coming.
so close, and more stuff's gonna leak, and we know that we're probably not gonna see anything on Extinction on Tuesday. If it's anything how it usually goes, we'll probably see more than anything. We'll probably see some campaign stuff. We'll probably see some campaign stuff.
Yeah, that's that. We won't see multiplayer for a
Yeah,
little while.
won't see any multiplayer. No extinction zombies, whatever it will be that they'll have. Um, they're gonna give it to us in bits and pieces, and that's great. Hopefully they don't ruin it like the freaking Batman v Superman trailers, where they freaking
Yeah, don't spoil everything, please.
show the entire movie in trailers. You totally just
Oh,
watch the
please
trailers for
don't.
that movie, and you haven't missed anything. But yeah, I think that's all
Yeah,
we have
let's
for
not
you
do
guys.
that. Yep. And I'm excited, man. I mean, and as skeptical as I am, I'm excited. So it's
Yeah,
it's coming up quick.
time will tell. We got it coming up. But
Yeah, man. But You know, if you guys are interested, check out the Call of Duty Ghost Judah v. Troy we just recorded recently. We thought we'd revisit that in light of everything going on, and it's a pretty enjoyable one, especially for me. Um,
Especially for that
but
guy.
yeah, so check out the playlist. Share if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you enjoyed. Drop a like and subscribe for much, much more. And we will see you guys online.
Later, guys.